Hey guys, I finally created a new Instagram. Please make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. The link will be in the description box. Okay, now that I know that there's a whole chosen family out here, I started fresh. You know what I'm saying? I just want a bunch of chosen people, God chasers, God pleasers, you know what I'm saying? Gathering together and fighting this battle, this war together, because our agenda is to destroy the kingdom of hell. Y'all know that. That's our mission. That's our agenda. So let's do this together. Encourage one another. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that. I'm happy to be awakened. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to hop on camera today because I just posted 2 videos, and of course before I posted them, I yet again had another dream. So I posted those last 2 videos I did this morning, and this morning I had a dream. So I wanted to share those dreams with you guys. So the dream that I had basically is to encourage all of God's chosen ones. Okay, the first one dream. I had 2, but this first one is to encourage you guys that us pushing God's agenda is not in vain. You're, preaching and teaching and sharing his word as much as you can on all of your platforms, on all of your social media, and to people face to face when you encounter them is not in vain. We are winning this thing, you guys. We are going far with the Father. And in the dream, okay, this is to let y'all know that it's working. Whatever you're doing for the Father, pushing his agenda, is working, because we're not always able to know exactly how far our work is going, how much it's doing behind the scenes. Well, this dream is to let you know that keep doing what you're doing, keep pushing God's agenda, because it is working. We are going to win this battle, you guys. I know it's already won, but the fight, we have to keep fighting. The fight is still here, okay? We have to keep fighting. So in this dream, there's a bunch of people, just a mob of people, all right? And they're pushing at me, okay? So everyone is just moving because they have captured a notorious criminal that they've been looking for a very long time. This criminal has created so much mess on the earth and as well as in the realms. So basically, God has his SWAT team, all right? There was a SWAT team, and with rifles, you guys, and they was finally apprehending this fugitive that has been on the run for so long that we needed to take down badly, okay? So in the spiritual realms, God's angels appear as SWAT team. They could either be security, they could either be private investigators, detectives, but in this dream, it was SWAT team. And the woman in front of me, it was a woman. She was dressed all in black with big rifle, and they were actually finally apprehending a fugitive, a huge criminal in the realms. And I know it was a demon, but he looked like a regular man. And it wasn't a black man. I can't tell what nationality he was, but it was a man that they were apprehending, and he was dressed in white, and his hands was held back. So they finally caught him. Okay. And what I know who that fugitive was a high-ranking demon. A high-ranking demon that has been creating so much mess upon the earth that God's SWAT team, his angels, have been fighting and searching for this demon for so long. But since God's chosen ones, his chosen army has finally awakened, like we're waking up, we're walking in our missions, okay? We're walking in the calling that God has placed upon our lives, and we're not, giving the devil no rest. There's a lot of people with wonderful YouTube channels that have been going in. I've been listening to them, prophetic channels going in, preachers going in, the ones that are really, have the love of the people in their hearts, and they're not doing it for selfish gain. The people that actually really love the Father, okay? Our prayers are pushing God's agenda, praying and fasting and just speaking the words, the God's truth is working, you guys. It's working. Please keep doing it and go even harder, because we have apprehended, the kingdom of God has apprehended one of the biggest fugitives, okay? And he went down quietly, because they've been searching for him for so long that they finally got him. And I'm over here watching this whole thing. Like, I'm telling you, it was a huge mob, and they was pushing. Everyone's moving around like, move, get away, move, and backing us up into a room because they had to catch this one. And I knew exactly that it was a high-ranking demon that we have finally taken off the earth. So it's working, you guys. All right. So our light, our energy is pushing back darkness and evil. It is not in vain. And I need more of you soldiers, more of God's children to rise up, create your channels, start spreading the word, start pushing God's agenda, change your social media from all this foolishness and, from worldly stuff, and start speaking up for the Father. We need as many people as possible in these last days. All right. Now, after they apprehended this notorious high-ranking demon, okay, I'm walking out. I hate filming in front of windows because cars come by and they just stop. So anyway, and it's a little weird for me. Okay, so after they apprehended this notorious high-ranking demon, all right, I'm walking out, and for whatever reason, it's like the dream shifted. So what I believe is happened is that the devil is still big mad. He's still very angry, and he's still coming at me for preaching the word, for speaking the word, for sharing my story, right? I remember, for whatever reason, in the dream, a manager telling me, hey, can you come into work at 3 p.m. today? And I'm like, okay, well, that's a little bit earlier than my usual time, but sure, I'll come in. So as I'm leaving the building from them just apprehending this fugitive, I'm leaving the building. Here comes another manager, okay, saying, hey, you're going to come in at 1:30, right? I'm like, I'm supposed to come in at 3. I need you to come in at 1:30. Hey, I'll be there. I'll help you out. And I'm like, okay, I've always been a dedicated, committed, a reliable employee when I used to have jobs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, sure, fine, I'll come in at 1:30. But guess what, you guys? That job was a McDonald's job. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh yes, I'll see you at 1:30. I'm walking away and I'm like, wait, this is for McDonald's. So literally what happened in that dream, you have to be careful. When you're doing the work of the Lord, what the devil likes to do to us is, project a spirit of poverty, a spirit of backwardness. McDonald's was like my first job when I was 16 in high school. Okay, I am grown right now. Who's going to be working at McDonald's? Okay, so the devil will come in your dream and try to give you these false, dreams, these false whatever, to make you believe that it's something good. We all know that, especially at my age, McDonald's is good for a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, but she's not working at McDonald's. That was so long ago. So that was a spirit of poverty. Okay, so I had to get up and give God praise for apprehending a huge fugitive because, God's chosen army, we are arising. And as we are arising, I told you, it's going to be exposing so many demons. It's going to be, casting them out. It's going to make them lose all types of power. So this is going to keep happening as long as we keep pushing God's agenda. But in the process, you have to remember that the devil will also attack you. So in that same very dream, I was supposed to be working at McDonald's, starting the job at 1:30. So I praised the Lord when I got up to thank him for apprehending the fugitive, the high-ranking demon. But I also had to rebuke working at McDonald's. Okay, I'm like, the devil just tries to push me into poverty, and that's one of the main things that he does in our dreams is push poverty dreams on us, or spirits of backwardness to take us back from places that we've already left and grown from. Because think about it, if he can attack you in your finances, that will break you. Nobody wants to be out here broke. That's one of the worst things. When you broke, it makes you desperate, and it makes you do desperate things. You know what I'm saying? So it's trying to push. It's almost like, the devil wants to pull me back to my old lifestyle, my old behavior, because he's trying to make me broke. But that's not going to happen. Okay, I know what he's doing. I'm stronger now. I'm no longer in the wilderness. I'm not fighting my way out of the matrix. I have all power now. You know what I'm saying? That's why in the last dream, out of nowhere, I had a knife in my hand. How is it that in a dream I had a whole knife in my hand? I'm slicing the stripper's throat. If you haven't watched my last 2 videos, please watch it. But it's like we all already have and carry our weapons. We have to stay fully equipped as soldiers. I wasn't walking around powerless. I didn't have I didn't walk around not having any type of weapons to defend myself. You know what I'm saying? So I rebuked that dream because she's not working at no McDonald's. She's not going backwards. She's not finna be out here broke. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has me out here not fully stable yet, but I know he's blessing me. This is a faith move. This is a faith walk. This is what God desires because he is God and we are his people. He wants to be the one to lead us throughout our entire journey, step by step by step. Remember, with the Israelites, God was the pillar of light. Pillar of light by day and a pillar of pillar of fire by night and a pillar of cloud by day. If that cloud didn't move, they didn't move. If that fire didn't move, they didn't move. They only moved everything when God told them to move. And that's how I'm living. I'm letting that pillar move me. Either it's a pillar of cloud by day or fire by night. And we have to just trust him along this journey and not have fear. Don't let fear consume you, because fear will take you off track and ruin the entire mission, because we are not to trust in ourselves. Now, the next dream that I had, this one is basically saying, this is a powerful dream. And so it's dark. And I see three huge beings. 1, 2, 3 tall, huge beings, but they weren't demons, okay? And you'll know because, I know the dream, so they weren't demons. It was actually a great dream, and this dream applies to all of us. So listen up. 3 huge beings, entities, all right? And I'm looking at these 3 huge beings. It was kind of like just gray. And each of them was holding a baby like this. They were standing very tall, very strong, and holding a baby like this. One baby was me. The other baby was one of my sisters. And then the other baby was another sister. I have 2 older sisters. So these 3 beings are holding us as little babies. I'm standing at a distance and I'm watching them holding us. And I knew it was us as babies. This voice in the background, which is my older sister, says to me out loud, she was like, do not forget about us. She said, do not forget about us. When God releases his promises in you, when God does everything in you that he said he was going to do not forget about us. And I'm hearing her. She said, do not forget about us when God does all the promises when God releases every promise in you that he told you that he would do not forget about us. And that was the end of the dream. And I knew exactly what that dream meant. For a very, very long time, very early on my journey, I just kept hearing a voice repeatedly, nonstop, would not stop saying, you are not of this earth. You are not of this earth. You are not of this earth. I would just hear it at random times. You are not of this earth. It got so stuck in me that I'm like, okay, we're not of this earth. I'm just an alien passing by. And then, of course, you start learning that we are spirit beings having a human experience. And then out of nowhere, before my awakening, it got even stronger. Something just told me, okay, that something told me that I was sent here. Okay? And I'm like, I was sent here. I was like, I was sent here. I didn't just be born through my mother. I was sent here. So, and I felt that so strongly. So what God is saying is that, and it's in the Bible, as we all know, our lives did not begin when our mothers gave birth to us. Life did not begin there. It began with the Father. We were spirit beings, okay? We spent time with him. We hung out with him. We already knew him, just like Jesus knew him, okay? And what he does is he gives us a mission. He speaks to us. He gives us a mission, and then he sends us back down to earth. And of course, we all know the infamous verse that says, I knitted you in your mother's womb since before the foundation of the earth. Okay, stuff like that. And that is so very true. It's just that once we get born and birthed into this earth, we don't remember anything. And that's when the journey really, really, truly begins. You know what I'm saying? Because now we have to fight to remember our calling, our mission that the Father already gave us. It's the same thing that Jesus went through. He got sent here, but had to come through, the Virgin Mary as a baby. See, if we don't experience life as a human, we won't be able to understand them. We won't be able to have sympathy and love for them. We won't care to fight for this earth. We won't care because we don't know. We cannot relate with humans. We are a spirit being. I remember one time I've been told a couple times where it's like, oh, it's not good to be too spiritual. But what do you mean it's not good to be too spiritual? We are spirit beings having a human experience. I am a spirit. I came from the Father. He sent me here. He gave me a mission. Okay, he told me what he wanted me to do. I have to just remember and fight through the matrix to remember what that mission was. And these demons will fight us head on. I mean, hard, especially the ones, like I said, who's carrying a strong calling, who has a strong calling. Their mission are so great. Of course, the devil will fight us the most. Okay, so I told y'all in the last video, I got caught up with a Jezebel spirit for so many years, and I fought it and I fought it and I fought. I'm like, God, and I would cry out to the Lord. I'm like, Lord, you see what's happening here. You see I'm fighting. You see I don't want this stuff. I don't want to live like this, Father. I see what the devil is doing to me. I'm not oblivious. I'm praying for people. You know what I'm saying? I'm prophesying for people. I'm doing spiritual counseling for people. I know better. I'm not that blind. I see what the devil is doing to me. Lord, you're giving me prophetic words for people. So you clearly see my situation. Why did not God deliver me? We have to go through a process. My situation became the biggest thorn in my side. I would cry all the time, but I couldn't break free. The Lord will not release me. I remember when the Lord spoke to me a very long time ago, and I'll share more of this later because it's so much. I went into agreement with the Lord. Basically, I signed a contract with the Lord. I almost forgot I had to remember. So I signed a contract with the Lord. It's so much. I'm going to do a whole video about, we sign contracts with God. That's why Satan has contracts with his people. Remember, Satan is a copycat, but we too have, signed contracts with the Father. And the Lord showed me everything. He showed me my whole calling and everything, and what he wanted me to do and the things that he was going to give me, but I had to make him a promise. And basically in that promise, I said, God, if you're going to do all of this for me, if you're going to give me all this, while I do all this for you, I don't want any of it if it's going to cost me my salvation, if it's going to make me become prideful, if it's going to make me become arrogant, if it's going to make me lose my relationship with the Father. Lord, I don't want all of this, because the Lord showed me so much. It was an angel showed me all these wonderful things that the Lord was going to do as I entered into contract and agreement with him to serve him and for him to use me and for me to share my entire story. I don't want to share my story, you guys. I don't even care to be on social media. I don't like being on social media. My old self, I wanted all of this, but as I started to become awakened, I realized my true self. I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be exposed to the world. I don't want to be out here. I actually want to live a quiet, hidden life with my little future kingdom spouse and stuff like that, and just off the grid, have a little business and we be good. But all this world out here, it is so awful that I don't even want to be a part of it. And it was just me being obedient, doing stuff like this. I don't like it. It's not really me, but I just have to. Okay, I have to. I think I'm definitely an extrovert. I have a strong personality, but at the same time, I like being to myself. I don't want to be out here whatsoever. The contract that I signed, when I told God, I don't want it, Father, if it's going to cost me my salvation, if it's going to cost me you. And when I said that, I didn't know what I was saying. I knew what I was saying, but I didn't know the cost of it. In order for God to give us his best, his greatest, okay, he going to take you through some things, all right? And it's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. He's going to take you through the wilderness. It's going to be a severe fight. But he knows that we can win it because he wouldn't put more on you than you can bear, all right? So in order for God to give us all this beauty, all these wonderful things and to use us, he's going to put a thorn in your side like Paul. Something, okay? You're going to battle something. You're going to fight something, and it's going to hurt, and you're not going to like it, okay? But guess what? That thing is to humble you. And for so many years, for a long time, I'm like, God, why you didn't take me out? The first time you woke me up, I thought that was it. Y'all, when God first awakened me, I thought I was done with my crazy life. I went back. I ended up going back. I'm like, God, but why did you take me out? You came in the pit and you took me out, and I'm right back here. Why? I was committed to you. I wanted to be with you. I was doing everything that I possibly could to stay with you and to not serve the devil, to not live a messy life. Why did you allow me to go back? My process was not done. Okay, he was still humbling me in the wilderness, because the longer he kept me there, the more I became broken. The more I became smaller as he became greater. The more I needed him. The longer he leaves you in your mess, the deeper you get in, is because the more you will need him, the more you will experience him. Okay, the more he's shedding layers and layers off of you. He's humbling you, because once he takes you to that next level, when he breaks those doors of greatness open for you, he doesn't want you to lose it. It's a lot of preachers out here being compromised, a lot of evangelists, prophets, okay? They've all been compromised. God is not really using them, you guys. These people have just decided not to step down from their ministry because it's their lifestyle now. It's their money. That's how they make their money. You know what I'm saying? So if they stop, how will they survive? So they honestly, a lot of people are literally doing God's work out of disobedience. His glory isn't really there, you know what I'm saying? But they choose to do it anyway. They don't humble themselves. They didn't really go through the wilderness. A lot of people who are doing ministry that loses their way is because they didn't get broken in that wilderness. One day they woke up, they felt like God said, you know, go preach for me, go speak for me, and they jumped the gun. Okay, when God said he's about to use you, that don't mean you just run and you go do it. No, when he says he's about to use you, just know that, sit down and wait. You about to go through a whole process, because he has to break you and make you. But some people go ahead of him, and this is why a lot of people fall. Okay, so with my situation, God left me in my situation to humble me. And I know I should say I'm gonna share dreams and then I start talking about other stuff, but this is what I do. But I wanted to share these things with you. So he kept me in my situation for so long through the tearing, through the tears, through the frustration, through the aggravations, through the brokenness. I'm like, God, I don't want to do this anymore. Why haven't you opened a new door for me? He has to humble you, okay? So he doesn't lose you, because too many that he sent before us have been broken, all right? So the three beings are standing there, and my sister tells me, don't forget us, all right? So what happens is this. We already met God. We're spirit beings. He made us. He created us. We know him already. And he sent us to earth to carry out a mission, okay, as his soldiers, all right, to fight this war, this battle. So what my sister was saying in the dream, do not forget us. And every family, okay, there is someone that's going to be a curse breaker, a generational curse breaker. There's going to be someone that's chosen. That's going to be someone that's like a trailblazer. There's going to be someone that has a huge calling on their lives, because as we are sent here on a mission, we choose what we want. Honestly, it's so real, you guys, because here's why I say that we kind of choose our mission. We volunteer. As a chosen one, we volunteer. You just don't remember it, but God has shown me these things. Here's something that some of y'all may not believe, but this is the truth. The Lord showed me multiple visions where I was in training with Moses. And I might lose some of y'all, but okay, now she's really crazy. No, this is very, very serious. This is stuff that I see in the spirit world. I spend a lot of time in isolation. That's why isolation is so important, because this is when God begins to open your eyes to deeper truth, okay? We have to, what does Jeremiah 33 verse 3 says? Search, ask me, and I will tell you things that you do not know. You have to search for the Father. You have to ask him, because there's secrets and mysteries to the kingdom of God, but he'll only reveal it to those that truly fully submit to him, surrender to him, okay? That allows him to take them through that wilderness process and let him do whatever he wants to do with you. But so many people get in their own way. So many people get in God's way that he can't do what he wants to do with you, and that stops the process. Me, I totally give in. I surrender all the time, because I know I was sitting here on a mission, okay? And I want to complete it as best as possible. I want all the information from the Father that I can have, so that way I can have a successful mission and go back to the Lord and get that good report. Okay, so he sends us here, and I'm in training with Moses. I'll share that on another video. I'm about to say another dream. I'll share that on another video. The whole experience with Moses, it wasn't just me in that training. Okay, and I go to Moses. And I'm seeing this with my eyes, you guys. I go to Moses and I said, hey, Moses, give me your hardest assignment. And he looks at me and he honors my request. What made me say that? I don't know. We're in training. He's teaching us, a few of us. And I go to him, I say, hey, I want your hardest assignment. I don't know why. And he says, okay. And throughout my whole family, I'm the only one that's lived this crazy life that I live. And I'm like, where did this come from? Why me? Why not them? This is not us. We don't live like this. We don't do stuff like this. Where did this foolishness come from? And it's been a battle ever since. It's been a war and a fight ever since, but it made me, it broke me. Our tough situations make us, and it takes us to levels that we could never imagine. So when someone has a story and it's not a good story, from now on, I'm checking that person like, woo, that might be a chosen one right there. Woo, you might have a huge calling, a huge mission on your life that you just have not discovered, that you just do not know. You think you live in this messy, crazy life because you just decided to one day. No, that's your story. And that story is supposed to make you. That story is supposed to break you and lead you to the Father and carry out his mission. That story is to help you relate to people upon the earth. By God humbling me, it gave me mercy for people. By God humbling me through my situation, okay, my story, I'm so humbled. I'm so humbled. There was time I called to the Lord, like, Lord, will you deliver me already? Like, how much humbling do I need? I felt so humble. Like, I'm like, God, I've been through so much mess and dirt that I can't call nobody out. If that ain't humble, you know what I'm saying? I will never speak out against somebody because I know where God took me from. I know what he did for me. And I'm like, God, you still humbling me? It'd be 2 years later, 3 years later, I'm still in my mess. I'm like, Lord, and I'm praying to him, and I'm still preaching from a pit, and I'm feeling like a hypocrite. I'm like, God, when are you going to deliver me out of this mess? I'm ready to work for you fully. He would not take me out. That thorn remained in my side. But by him leaving me there, I have love for people, mercy for people, understanding for his people. I have patience for his people. I have compassion for his people. Our wilderness, our situation, our story is so we can, as spirit beings, learn to relate to others, love others, because if we don't have the love of the Father inside of us, we cannot carry out the mission, because the mission is to save his people. Save his people from Egypt. Save his people from bondage, from the wilderness, and help lead people to the promised land. But you're not going to do that if you don't have true love for the people. And all these people out here that start doing it for the money, for the fame, for the glory, God stops using them. The devil has corrupted them. So he has to raise up this new army that he knew he was going to anyway. The ones that would allow him to break us in the wilderness. So what I'm going to tell you guys is, as the three beings holding us as babies, and my sister says, don't forget about us. What that tells me is this: all of us chosen one, because I know my family is chosen because they some diehards for the Father, okay? Is we all carry different missions, okay? But the thing is this: one person is going to carry that promise, that heavier load. And I guess when I told Moses, give it to me, volunteering, this is why I went through what I went through. But just like Isaac, you're going to carry, God's promise. So as a chosen child of God, you are carrying God's promise, and he's trusting you he's going to use you to fulfill that promise, okay? To save his people, to push his agenda, okay? And as the chosen one, breaking generational curses, what we're doing on this mission is not just for us. We're doing it for our family, okay? Whatever curses that are still within our family, we're breaking those curses with our obedience, with, carrying on this mission, holding dearly with our whole heart to this assignment like Jesus did. Jesus stayed focused. He came here, he carried out his assignment, his mission, and he went back home. That's what I'm trying to do. I know my mission and my assignment. And I'm pushing God's agenda. I'm fighting through this thing. And it's hard. It's not easy, okay? Because I want to go back home. Okay, if you're a chosen one, we feel the aches and the pains of this earth. We don't want to be here anymore. We want to go back home because we know that this earth is corrupted. This earth is wicked, it's evil, it's cruel. It's hard to be here. Imagine coming from the Father, okay, hanging out with God, living a good life. And he's like, okay, all my chosen ones, here's y'all assignment. I'm about to send y'all to earth through the birth of your mother, through your earth family. Okay, and you're going to carry out this mission for me. And we know that. So I always ask myself, well, why do I push so hard? Why do I have this passion and this fire and this desire for the Father to fight for his kingdom? Where did that come from? Nobody taught me that. No one ever sat me down and taught me that. Besides training with Moses, I would say. It's because we already come from the Father. We've already been with him, and we know in the depths of us, this is a mission and we need to complete it or we can't make it back home. If we don't complete this mission, if we don't wake up and walk in our full glory, in our truest selves, in our highest being, okay, we cannot go back home. And even if we don't carry out our mission, but we still make it back home, we're not going to get that report from the Father that we want. So chosen ones, you are carrying a promise within you of God that he made through you, because the Lord said, when my sister said, don't forget about us, the Lord alerted me to my spirit that you carry promise that they need. We carry a promise that our family need. We carry a promise that those around us need. We carry a promise that this earth needs us to fulfill. And God can only fulfill it through you because you carry that specific promise. So it's detrimental that we wake up. It's detrimental that we pick up our crosses every day. It's crucial that we fight this fight because everyone is counting on us. And this is why the devil makes it extremely hard for God's chosen ones, okay? Because he knows that the weight that is upon our back is heavy, it's severe. We're carrying everyone on our backs. We're not doing this just for us. We're not doing this just to go back to heaven by ourselves. We're supposed to go back to heaven and be like, okay, God, you assigned 100,000 people to me. I got all 100,000 and 10,000 more. You don't want to go back to God and God be like, well, I told you I had assigned and ordained you to deliver 25,000 people. That was all that was on your resume. Go to earth and get me those 25,000. You came back with 5,000. You came back with 3,000. You came back with 0. You think we came to this earth to live it up, to parties, to live a lavish lifestyle? You are deceived. We are here on assignment and a mission to go back home. And I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to complete this assignment because I got to hear good and well done, my faithful servant. I need to hear that. I have to hear that. I don't want to live this life knowing I go to heaven and God doesn't tell me that. I'm trying to get the biggest mansion. I'm trying to rule and reign alongside Jesus. See, a lot of people don't think like that. And I feel like the reason why that is within me is because I've already been with the Father. Okay? He spoke to me. Let me share it with y'all. One thing, I didn't want to share it now, but I might as well. One of the most amazing visions that the Lord showed me when I started this journey a while ago, 2013. It's dark. I'm staying at a distance. This is like our spirit being that's just seeing. It's like our human self, I guess, seeing this stuff. It's just like another world, another dimension. It's like I just go there sometimes and I just see things and I come back out. It's just amazing. And basically, I'm standing at the door. It's dark. At a distance is a crib. There's a baby inside that crib. That baby is me. Who was standing, over my crib was Jesus. This is real, guys. Jesus picks me up out of the crib and holds me. And he looks down at me and he says, you will build me a nation. Jesus picks me up out of my crib, and I'm a grown woman watching this. It's like he's showing us things that we forgot, things that he put into us. He's trying to remind us along the journey. This is why I sent you here. I didn't send you here for yourself. I didn't send you here to make an amazing life for yourself, to try to get the best husband, the best job, the best wife, the best social life, the most amount of money. He didn't send us here for that. That is the devil that has deceived us and distracted us to deter us from our purpose and our mission. The Lord reminded me, because I didn't remember this. I was a baby, but he had already spoken it to me when he was forming me, before he released me into the earth. Okay? And he picks me up out of the crib. And I'm watching Jesus at a distance. Speaks over my life. You will build me a nation. God, Jesus has spoken our purpose to us multiple times. It's just that we forget with all the distractions. And we have to search for him. That's why the Father says, search for me and you will find. Keep searching, keep searching. Run after me like with the heart of David. Then I will use you and make you a king and make you a queen upon this earth. But if you don't chase me, if you don't search for me, okay? If you don't put yourself in isolation, if you don't turn off this world, you will not discover your truest purpose. A lot of people are like, I can't discover my purpose. I don't know what I'm here for. Go into silence. Get into isolation. You will know, and God will remind you. Jesus will remind you. When you was a baby, I visited you. I spoke over your life. I told you who you were. I told you what I needed you to do, but you have to chase it and remember it and fight it. Fight these demons in the matrix that's trying to keep you from building that nation for the Father. I didn't even know when the Lord told me that vision, when I saw it building him a nation, I'm like, what? Until I started reading more of the Bible. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Nations, kingdoms, governments. That's what God is about. Okay? That's why I say in my videos, there's nations inside of some of you. There are kingdoms inside of some of you. But you have to chase it and fight it to discover it. Or you would have aborted the mission on your own. You would have let the devil abort your mission. Your mission, okay, is not just for yourself. Your family is counting on you. Your friends are counting on you, okay? Those people that God has assigned to you, they are counting on you. Your salvation is really in their hands because you got to preach to them. You got to deliver them. You got to bring them victory. You have to stand in the gap for them. You have to intercede for them like Moses interceded, like Abraham interceded. We are intercessors for the ones that we are assigned to. I'm pretty much done with this video. I just had to share those two dreams with you guys, okay? Now that I'm posting videos, now that I'm walking back in my calling, the devil is mad. He's trying to put a spirit of backwardness on me with poverty, trying to take me back to where God freed me from, but that's not gonna happen, okay? That's not gonna happen. Again, as chosen ones, all right? We were spoken over with Jesus, okay? As chosen ones, Jesus spoke over us, all right? We carry a promise, a huge assignment that must be fulfilled, all right? We did not begin life here on earth. We began it with the Father, okay? We are spirit beings having a human experience, all right? We have to learn to walk in power, authority. We have to learn to walk in full dominion as priests upon this earth, royal priests, as kings and queens. We are not like everybody else. We do not maneuver like everybody else. We do not think like everybody else. We are not of this earth. And once you get that in your spirit, in your mind, then that's when your power begins to grow within you. Okay? And I'm like, God, how can I, one time I asked God, I'm like, how can I grow my power? How can I get more stronger? Because I guess I'm just ambitious like that. I remember when I escaped the matrix, the Lord clearly told me, he said, you're resilient. And I was like, really? I'm resilient? I'm a fighter. He said, you're resilient. I guess he's not finding enough people that are resilient. We have to be resilient with this thing. We have to be a fighter. The sooner you understand that we are not of this world, that life did not begin on earth. No, it did not. It began with the Father. Then you will begin to discover your mission. Then you will begin to discover who you really are. Then you will begin to walk in your greater power. It's levels to this thing. I even saw when I escaped the matrix. Y'all think this is a game? The Lord shows me these things. All right, and it's real. All right, we're killing demons out here, you guys. Keep rising, keep fighting. Start your YouTube channel. Start sharing the gospel with people all around you. Change your conversation. Some of you are holding conversations that are meaningless, that are pointless, that doesn't bear any fruit. Change your conversations. Start sharing more of the Lord. As you speak more of him, he begins to grow and get bigger and bigger within you. We become one with the Father. As we become one with the Father, we are God in the flesh, okay? We are the representations of the Father, of Jesus Christ himself. He carried out his mission. He was the example that went before us. So he guided us through how this is going to go. He never said it was going to be easy. Obviously, If you're thinking you're gonna have an easy life here, you're greatly to see we didn't come here to have an easy life. God did not put us here to be comfortable. He's going to comfort us through our circumstances and our situations, but his goal is not to make you comfortable. His goal is to get you to carry out his mission, his plans, his agenda, because evil is destroying his people upon the earth. And if you're not completing your assignment, many people will suffer. Many. So, I love you guys. God loves you too. And hopefully I didn't have no wardrobe malfunction on this video, because, you know, last video my lip gloss was running. And in the video after that, I wore the same shirt that I wore in the previous two videos. You know, I'm not in my own element. I'm not a YouTuber like that. I just do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully there's no wardrobe malfunctions. My hair not sticking up somewhere. I don't have something running off my face. You know what I'm saying? Love you guys. God bless you. And please remember, the kingdom of God is at hand. Grab hold of it.